Welcome back everyone, Zeke here for another exciting beta review, and today we're looking at the newly released Metal Gear Survive, which is an up-and-coming survival action adventure game developed and published by Konami, with it resting between Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain in the timeline. Set in a hazardous and ruined world filled with creatures and hazardous mist, your success relies on your ability to read the evolving situation to ultimately survive. Now, this Metal Gear Survive open beta is available for both Xbox and PlayStation 4 and will run between January the 18th and January the 21st inclusive of those days, so it's actually open for a 4-day total. And Metal Gear Survive is scheduled for release on 22nd of February 2018 and will feature both a single player and online co-op mode. In single player, players can experience the story of Metal Gear Survive whilst learning the fundamental gameplay elements, with multiplayer co-op testing these skills in an all-out wave defense against otherworldly creatures such as the Wanderers and the Bombers, as mentioned in Metal Gear Survive. So, what's included in the Metal Gear Survive beta? Well, this includes 3 missions across 2 maps in co-op mode, and offers special daily missions. You can also try out many weapons on offer and upgrade your character with new skills, moves, and equipment, such as traps and barricades. Participation awards are also available and will be received as an in-game bonus in the full release, and this is the Foxhound nameplate, the accessory Metal Gear Rex head, and an accessory bandana. So, talking more about the beta then, obviously what you would all like to know is it worth it? Well, I've spent pretty much all of January the 18th playing this, and pretty much all morning prior to this video to try and get my thoughts on it, try and find out what I like, what I dislike about it. Now, Metal Gear Survive is obviously modelled quite nicely after MGS V. And you can tell that by the character customization, the character's combat, how you interface with the menus, how he fights, how he runs, basically all the actions that you would normally do in a game. You can tell this has been modelled after MGS V, and they've basically taken a carbon copy of it. However, with that being said, this whole wave defense on online co-op, and obviously potentially the story for Metal Gear Survive, does sound a little bit intriguing to me. While I don't think this is really should be called Metal Gear Survive, even though it does fit between the timeline and it is basically talking a little bit about Big Boss and Mother Base. I think this wave defense and your struggle to try and get back to your reality, back to your home, is a bit far-fetched. I don't think it should be included with it. To me, it doesn't really seem like a Metal Gear game. However, what I do like is the great amount of character customization that you can do, and I'm not just talking about its face or its clothing, which do give stat boosts as well, such as defense, and you will need to take care of those as you go on. But also for the fact of you can fully customize between missions at the start of missions, and even change your equipment out during the missions for what you need. So this can be your melee weapons, your ranged weapons, your thrown weapons, any barricades that you've got. So realistically, what you could do is you could go into a match, find it's too difficult, find you haven't got enough barricades, but you've got some in your stock room. Oh, wait a minute, you've just transferred them across, now you can use them. And what I do like is the availability of these. Like, it isn't just one barricade and then it's done. You can sort of do layers of barricades if you so wished, and some of these give better stat boosts than others, some of these will damage opponents, some of these will allow you to hit through it, and all of these weapons do feel different. Don't get me wrong, when you shoot a pistol and when you shoot a shotgun, sure, they're both firearms, but they do feel completely different to use. They obviously use different ammo, and you've always got to be careful of your item management and your resource management as you go along. Through the matches that I have played, I do think Metal Gear Survive might fall prey to repetitive nature. Don't get me wrong, for what I've played of it, the 3 missions across the 2 maps, both maps are completely different. They do rely on sort of different defense strategies, obviously different ways of enemies coming in. However, once you've played the match once or twice and you've got a good team behind you and you know where enemies spawn or you know what can be gathered from where, I believe this does get a little bit too repetitive. Especially with some of the optional secondary objectives, such as getting the metal gears. I think they make the waves way too easy. You've got your minigun on that, and also the metal gear melee, which pretty much devastates your foes, no matter what you do, and I think it makes it way too easy. What I do like is the fact that you are also multi-managing and micromanaging your health, and the water intake, and obviously the oxygen in your oxygen mask. That one isn't so much used on the online aspect of things, but obviously your health, that comes down every couple of seconds. Or indeed, if you go into a menu, you can see it constantly falling, and you need to take health for that. With water, again, you can get dehydrated, which may affect your stamina, so again, you need to take clean water. On top of that, if you get damaged, you might suffer bleeding effect, you might get lacerations, your health may not regen, your screen may turn red if you're bleeding so much, so that may hinder your visibility. All very good things in the Metal Gear Survive beta. But is it worth it? At the end of the day, I would possibly say yes. I've enjoyed my time with the beta. It has sort of given me a more intrinsic look in Metal Gear Survive that comes out on 22nd of February 2018, and I will be tempted to buy it. This has definitely got to be one of the most enjoyable betas that I've played in the last couple of months. The wave defense, yes, can get a bit repetitive, but with a good team you can get those high scores, you can get the better ranks to get more equipment. One thing I would like to see changed is the way that you receive recipes to make more equipment. For example, I saw lots of people go around with bows and arrows, which is really good because you start the game with some arrows. However, I haven't quite got the bow yet. I've got shotguns, I've got pistols, I've got traps, I've got barricades, but I don't have a bow, which is kind of really weird, and I would like to see that implemented in the full game. That's sort of like an upgrade system maybe that you could do, and basically you can pick whatever you like. On top of that, you can also upgrade your characters, give them new skills. Of course, these can be new attacks, better power, more dexterity, which always comes in handy, and of course when you're battling level 20 enemies or level 15 armoured enemies, this does come in handy. It's responsive, it's good, it's visually stunning, it's a joy to play. Ultimately, I would say you've got till January 21st now to have a little bit of a go at the beta, so go ahead, download it. For PlayStation, you do not need a PlayStation Plus subscription, as they've announced. However, if you are playing this on Xbox One, you will need a Xbox Live subscription in order to play. So there we have it. That's my quick thoughts on Metal Gear Survive, a really interesting beta that I really do recommend you try. Well, you do try out. However, please bear in mind, I don't think this is an actual Metal Gear game in its entirety there for you. Of course, if you've played Metal Gear Survive, I would love to hear your comments in the comments section below. And of course, if you enjoyed this review, please don't hesitate to leave a like, comment, share and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, have a lovely day.